Everyone, it's Desiree. We are going to have some fun with some stencils. These are the stencils from Spellbinders October Kit of the Month, and they are called Baubles Festive Background. Sorry about that. So this here has multiple stencils, so you're going to get a great choice selection when it comes to this. You have two of the stencils that can create a background of ornament baubles. And then I'm sorry, there's three there. My bad. And then you're going to get two more stencils to create a geometric style background if you want. So you can just use each of these on their own. But when they're layered, you can get this great plaid type print. I'm going to combine the ornaments with one of the geometric stencils. So first I'm going to use my stencil mat and I'm just going to add my colors. I am going to use two shades of the reds and the greens, and for the darker shade I'm using one of my pouncers to add that color just to one side to give it just a little bit of shading. The colors that I'm using are by Simon Says, and for the reds I'm using Punch and Sangria, and I'm going to be using for the greens Kale and Artichoke. Now for the second bauble, you have the ornament topper, the loop, the wire that's usually on the ornaments. Now I'm just using some used up or some tape here to cover those so that they don't get inky, because I will go over them in a color that I don't want, because it's just going to happen. I'm going to come in with my blending brush and do the same thing that I did with the red ink. I'm going to come in with my lighter shade, and what's really nice with the Simon Says inks, they level out. So even though they look blotchy, they level out. I like that. You know, it's got to be leveled. Everything's got to be calm, leveled out. I'm going to do the same thing with the darker color. I'm going to pounce it. Again, I'm not worried if it has a perfect blend. It's all good. I'm going to remove these little pieces of tape. Now, you could also take like a Post-it in your hand and move it around as you're doing that. I would not have remembered to do it. It just wouldn't. I'm going to come in with one of my detail brushes and just go over those areas. Now, those areas are easily to be seen now because of the tape. So there's no ink in those areas. So I know I won't forget one. The final stencil has the holder of the wire, and I'm going to use Earl, the color Earl for that. So it's like a silver. I'm going to get that lined up, and I'm going to use one of my small blending brushes for this. We don't need a large one. And just get that color down. I'm going to add the magic with the last stencil. I'm going to lay this over, and I'm going to use some shimmery paste. And I'm going to mix that up, and I'm going to place that over the ornaments. Now, with some dye inks, especially reds, your color will change. These are water reactive inks. The paste has some water to it, but it depends upon the color, and you will see from the photos that the green didn't change. You see this beautiful glimmer going on there. The red did change in color, kind of went to like a coral color, which I am completely fine with. I think it looks great once it dries, and it just gives that little bit of sparkle for on top of those ornaments. We're going to be making a 5x7 card. Because of the paste, the paper did warp just a little bit. Doesn't warp as much as when you put your heat gun to it, or if you've watercolored on it, or ink smushed. So I am going to use some double-sided tape to get this down onto a piece of black cardstock. And I just want a very thin border. I am going to use my long shear scissors for this. You could use your paper trimmer if you feel more comfortable with that. Once I have that down, I have my base already set up. I am going to use my double-sided tape again because I am putting this panel down onto glitter cardstock, and I don't want it to not adhere. So once I get that down, I'll remove the release paper. I'm going to fold up those bits because it's not the same exact size, but I'm just going to fold the tape over onto itself. I'll put my panel down, and you can see add a little bit of liquid glue as well. And then we are going to set this down onto our 5x7 card base. I again pulled out a sentiment from my stash that says merry and bright. And I'm going to back that onto a piece of black cardstock as well. So just finding the position, using my liquid adhesive, and getting that set into place. So there is our card. Great way to use the stencils to get a great background, lots of texture and dimension in no time. As always, I hope you enjoyed today's project featuring the Spellbinders Stencil Kit of the month. All the products that I used will be listed down below in the video description. And if you have any questions, please make sure you leave those down below as well, and I will make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, make sure you ring the bell so that you are notified when the next video is ready for you to watch. But most of all, enjoy that art that you are creating. Have fun. Show your talents through your cards or your paper craft projects that you put together. Make sure you hit the subscribe button again because I have to repeat myself. But most of all, remember what's most important, everyone. Be creative in everything that you do every day. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will talk to you in the next video. And until then, take care.